I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy.
Well, I'm starting to feel a bit crazy. And by the way, this is A Million Dreams. I love The Greatest Showman. I mean, that musical is incredible. But I'm starting to feel a little stir crazy here. I had a dream. By the way, Mike Myers, what are you doing? Okay. I had a dream that there was a study that was not published, and I was desperately looking for it. And then when I woke up, my consciousness, my, whatever, when I regained it after sleeping, it wasn't there. So I guess I'm just starting to have COVID-19 dreams, which is just really weird to me. But here we go. I can't even hear you right now. You there? There you are. All right. I got you now.
Was it my fault?
No, you know what? I had the level a little muted, so there we go.
Good, because it's never my fault.
No, it never is your fault,
Yes, it is.
No, but seriously, it's very strange that I had this thing and then I wake up and I forget it. So I guess I'm starting to just have these dreams.
Well, it's been an interesting day already. Someone I don't know sent me some porn on my phone.
Well, that happens. If you get Zoom bombed, that will happen. So I don't know if that happened in Zoom or just regular life.
Oh, I don't think so. But anyway, this morning I'm supposed to have this Eric Kretzinger on. And 2 days ago, there's a possibility I was exposed to the COVID. Yeah, you got it too, huh? The COVID-19.
Because of the spittle from your brother-in-law or something else now?
Yes, the brother-in-law spittle. And anyway, I sent a message to this gentleman and just forewarned him in case he decides that it might not be a good idea for him to come over.
Well, so wait. How do you deduce that you might have COVID? Because of the spittle or just?
I mean, it's 14 days. It takes how many days for you to start having the symptoms?
Yeah, 14
Isn't
days.
Isn't that a TV show, The Symptoms?
You know what? It should be. That'll be like the new version of The Simpsons. That'll be good.
Oh, boy.
Let's see. Instead of Homer, there would be, I don't know, all the, Coroner would be the lead.
Coroner and Cover.
Exactly.
That's bad. Focus.
Anyway, I am focused today. By the way, congratulations. You can now piss off more people by saying I was reopening tomorrow. It is official. Stores are reopening. And what I mean by that is you could just post, "Hey, I'm excited I was going to reopen," and you get more more criticism. So that'll be fun.
No, actually, I've been having a conversation with this Muslim friend of mine. That's where I got that scarf I was wearing. Well,
for those on the podcast and not video, I think he was trying to make me laugh. I don't know. It was just funny to tune him in, and there he is.
I think it's called a hijab or something.
Yeah, I mean, they have hijabs. Michael, I could easily turn this microphone to the rain. They might have some more thoughtful insight.
Wow.
Are those the Lord's hands on your shirt? I love that shirt.
The Lord's hands?
Yeah, I don't know what that's on your shirt.
No, that's the Boone Homeless Fund.
Okay, no, it looks like that's in God's hands, though, which is pretty cool.
It's true. Things are. I mean, I guess if that's what you really need to have your nose swabbed.
No, I mean, this is weird. I was having congestion in my nose yesterday, so.
Doesn't it make you just kind of sort of, because this morning, and I haven't really been concerned about this at all until my brother-in-law came over. And then I've been kind of sort of, well, what if? I need to make sure I get that life insurance policy upped.
Well, yeah, because God forbid he
I'm
has it, and he spit right in your face. I mean, I don't know.
well, no, well, that's interesting. You put it that way. He spit right in my face. Someone might misconstrue that as being that he tried to COVID-19 me.
That's true because they are targeting people who are going to spit and be. It's insane. The New York Police Department is cracking down on that. Actually, now that you talk about it, I mean,
Have they gotten back to you yet?
oh yeah, about that. No, they. I'm scot free. So
Let's scot free. Sounds
love
like
that term.
Walmart.
Scot free is just. I don't know where it came from, but I just love that term.
Scott tissue just hit bottom. Thousands were wiped out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well. So anyway, yeah, I've been getting some interesting little audio clips from Sonia Shields from the UK, and she's there. It's a mess over there too. She's just really, really disappointed by the government.
well, and now there are scientists that say let's open up everything to expose people and maybe have this vaccine that could work in September or by September. They're already trying 6,000 people over the next month for the vaccine they've created over there.
Well, and have you heard this one? Rumors abound that you'll need to get the vaccine, kind of like polio back in the day, but you'll need to get the vaccine and then you will get some kind of a digital something or other that'll prove that you've had the.
Well, this is the this is the thing that some are talking about, that there could be a digital chip inserted in you once, and I'm not ready for that, Michael.
Well, and look, a friend of mine had said yesterday the word corona, 6 letters, and if you assign each letter starting with letter A, the number 1, and then you add up the numbers from the letters, you'll end up with 6 letters for corona and then 66. So it's 666.
So this is, I don't know. I don't want to say it's been a whole conspiracy. I don't want to say that, but
it's just, I don't have the time to sit around and freak out.
Let me ask you, how many of your friends are on the deep end with this? I mean, I feel like, because my stepfather's saying a lot of his friends are starting to go off the deep end in their thoughts with all this.
Well, quite a few. My wife and I have had just a little bit of, there's been a little tension. Now, she is making masks for people. And again, for somebody to make fun that somebody's wearing a mask and thinking that's going to help, it is about other people. I mean, I can confirm that with what happened in our kitchen the other day.
Well, since you're very worried about it, I have to ask now, are you showing any symptoms or?
Oh, no. I'm not very worried about it. I just don't want to give it to somebody else.
Who's running for office, by the way.
Exactly. If they weren't running for office, if they were a Democrat running for office.
Stop it.
I'm kidding.
You're not that vicious. We all know that.
I'm really not. I am a lover, not a hater.
But that would be weird if he came to your house and then couldn't run anymore because something happened. That would just be strange.
Yeah, and then blame it on me and make it, national news that I COVIDed somebody. Oh, wait a minute. I got a message back. Thank you for sharing this. I discussed with my wife, and she is adamant. I not put myself in a position this close to the virus. I would really like to do your show, but we'll need to postpone. Very sorry, and hope you understand. Thank you. And I'm glad that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be wrong of me not to have said something to him. And I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
We don't know, but I'm glad you took that precaution because you just don't know. And who knew that your brother-in-law would be doing that to begin with? So it's not like you planned not to have him over. You know what I mean? Like that was just something that came up over the week.
Oh, well, actually, I will tell you that when I saw the spittle, I inhaled like I used to when I used to smoke pot. I'm kidding. I hope
you are.
Oh, that's just sick.
No, it's not even that. I just didn't know. I guess I didn't know that you had done that. How frequently did you smoke pot? I didn't know that you did that too.
Oh my goodness gracious! I was. They used to call me Space Cadet.
Really?
Some people call me Maurice. Some, yeah. I mean, I actually, I can look back now and find the humor in it. But I used to actually, I got lost on an on ramp with a car full of friends.
Oh my God.
It was good stuff.
Oh my gosh. So you got lost.
Scary. It was scary, actually. I mean, I was scared to death and I was hysterical.
Well, and that's also what they say it does if you take too much of it. You know, it just gets you all hysterical and all that other stuff.
And I used to roll the tobacco out of my cigarettes and then load it with pot and go out on service calls. I mean, I had a real addiction, and that's why there's certain things I just can't mess with. By the way, this opens up our time this morning, if you don't mind.
Sure, let's talk a little more. So, I mean, there's so much about you that even I learned in an email, and I mean, like, there's more than just Radio Hope. You've obviously had a lot of journeys to get to where you are today.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then you know, life is just life is life is to be lived. And yeah, people say, well, if I had to do it over, no, it's what it makes me who I am today. So if somebody has an issue with whether it's, alcohol, oh my gosh, how much of myself do I open up here?
Mm.
Fill in the blank, whatever.
We've all done. I mean, yeah, we've all had our days. Even at 28, I've had my moments too, because when you're young, you don't understand that having a 90-pound body doesn't allow you to do all crazy, like night on the towns. But I had those moments. So,
can we talk about what's this?
Well, the email about your pro-life stance. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because, oh wow, oh boy, there's a moment. Yeah, I didn't want to offend you by saying no. And
I was very curious because you had said you agreed to something 40 years ago, and I don't know if you want to bring that up.
Oh, yeah. Well, my wife at that time, we were expecting our third, and she had said, and I won't use the exact words because I love the lady dearly. We both know that, children having children probably isn't a good idea. But we were expecting our third. I was excited, and she wasn't, and might have had something else going on the side there. And so anyway, she said, if you want to keep the marriage together, we're going to get rid of this baby. And I signed the paper that okayed that, and then went out and sat in the car. It was a March, very dreary day, and broke. And then get this, the next day she said she had had a dream that we had the baby, and I just went ballistic. Shortly after that, I snapped. That's when I ended up in Illinois without any identification, no money. Wow, what a story. And that's where this gal that I had told you about that I'd reconnected with came into the picture. And you know what? I am so glad we're having this conversation because that's got to be a priority right now. There are personal stories we have that need to be told.
Mm. Well, luckily I haven't been in that situation, but I've got to ask you. It sounds to me though that today, the would-be father doesn't even get a say, or if he does, it's encouraging her. Like today, instead of men advocating for the baby, I've been told that they'd say no, don't have the baby. I don't know. Is that true? Is that true in the media, conservative media, that they are advocating the woman to have the abortion, or is that just kind of bluster?
I'm not aware that that's the case. I was listening to a show. Well, actually, it was on 99.3, a station that you guys were SR. Oh, whoops, never mind. I'm not supposed to go there.
Huh. Anyway, no. But tell me. So you were hearing this story on the radio?
And I called in, and I got all choked up because a lot of times people don't understand the guy's viewpoint of not having a say in whether he's going to get to have another child or not. I mean, that's just wrong. So, yeah, it was tough to get through it. But again, it was something that I just felt at the time needed to be shared. And Oh boy, I'm having other.
Well, no, it's just interesting you said you signed an agreement because I feel like that's not the case these days. Like it just sounds like
Oh,
they go right in and not even have any agreement signings or all that.
you're exactly right. Yeah, I get where you're going. I'm glad you continue to push that point. But yeah, you're right. Now it's my body, it's my choice. So just get out of here. And back then, it was a requirement that the husband, as far I'm pretty sure that was the case. I could do some checking into that, but I'm pretty sure the husband had to agree to that. And then I couldn't stay in there in the little waiting area. I had to get out of there. It's like, oh my gosh. And
have you ever told this story on your pod?
Yes,
you have.
I believe I have. And yet, when I was 16-ish, and the gal that we were in confirmation class with, I thought, I got her pregnant. So, and of course, my suggestion was that, well, it wasn't a suggestion. So, well, obviously, we can't have this baby. So you can see how I have been on both sides of it. And it's like, then something happens when you realize how precious life is. And yet for me to tell somebody else, no, you can't do that, I don't think that's right either.
I was going to say, you're not a hardcore pro-lifer. You're probably like me, down the middle. I just feel like abortion's now become the first resort instead of the last resort. That's my worry about the whole issue.
Well, and I had, at that time, 40 years ago, had a sister-in-law who tried to convince me it was no big deal because she had had 6 abortions.
And yet God forgave her. I don't know. Is it even right to say that? I feel like it's not right to even say that.
I don't know. I had quite a... This is kind of going along with what we're talking about. I reconnected with a gentleman from many years ago. That's for another day. Anyway, do people have a testimony of when they got whammied, when they came to a place where God became very real to them? And I don't want to get all religious here, but boy, I did, and I will never forget it. And it's what I call my second birthday. Now, there's a challenging thing. Were you brought up in the tradition of your parents' faith, or did you actually come to a place where you were like, oh my gosh, God is real, this whole son thing, and wow, there's something to this. Of course, then people think you're a nut, which is okay, because I know I'm a nut. Sometimes I feel like a nut.
Well,
sometimes I don't.
There's a song about that too. Now you got me thinking of the song again. I got to figure that one out. But no, and I mentioned this because one of the pro-life groups I know is doing a town hall today on it, and one of the former Iowa Planned Parenthood directors are on it. So it kind of hit home to me to send that to you.
Can you? So do you have a link or something?
I could re-forward that to you. I'm not sure how to join in myself, but it's.
Oh, you sent that to me already.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I got it. Okay, good enough. Because that is something that when I heard that's what they were doing, you'd have this tele-doctor thingy, and then tell a doctor what's wrong. And then if they decide you should, it's okay, they push a button and a remote controlled door pops open, and then drawer, and then you start your medication, and pretty soon you abort. Hey, have you seen the movie Unplanned?
I have not truly seen it, but I met Abby, and she's so nice. Abby Johnson.
You met Abby too?
Well, here's the thing. Last year, in the middle of Times Square.
Oh my gosh, this is
They
cool.
had this Focus on the Family event where they had the heartbeat and everything, and I was part of that because the radio station that I work at was there. And I mean, here's the thing. It was just amazing how you could hear the baby in the womb, and then all the protesters that walked by us and screamed at us left. They had nothing else to say after that moment.
What else can you say? There's a great story right there, what you just shared.
And I do think...
wow.
I do think God was in Manhattan in that day. And I always... See, some people like to say, oh, he's not here because of the liberal... No, he's here. He's just not being honored enough. But he's in every one of our lives. I don't think he's honored enough in the city, but he's here, no matter what.
You know, you and I think we're definitely very, very similar. God was in Manhattan that day. What a story title about that day. Because I remember that. That's a big deal.
And I got to meet Jim Daly, great man. And actually, at the radio station, I've also met James Dobson, and we just had him on again a couple weeks ago. But we have met him, and
you have a fascinating job.
I met the Pences. That was kind of neat too. I met not Mike, but Charlotte and Karen.
His son was at a recent Republican caucus here in Boone.
Very cool.
Which was quite a surprise for a lot of us. It was for me.
Well, you know, the daughter makes so many appearances. I didn't even know he had a son.
And I didn't know that he had a daughter.
There you go.
Or son or son-in-law. Maybe a son-in-law. I don't know. Anyway, some guy.
Well, how is Iowa's grassroots? Is there like a grassroots thing for Trump down there, or what's going on with that whole Republican Iowa caucus stuff?
There are a lot of people that are just kind of sort of keeping their head down so they don't get it shot off. Not that Democrats would shoot guns at them, but you get a little nervous saying anything. I mean, when you have a neighbor that challenges your Christian faith because who you voted for.
I would actually disagree. I think they would, because here's the thing. They would order the militarized state and take away our guns. I mean, it's not, I might go down a rabbit hole, but I've seen that story before recently.
Run that by me again.
You said the Democrats wouldn't shoot us, but I think.
I tell you, it's just important, I think, to live our lives and vote with our feet. And that's what it comes down to. So
or foot.
Oh, you are such a hoot. Oh man, you are something else. You. When are you writing your book?
I'm still writing it. I've been trying to write more of it, but I have no time.
Actually,
that's a stupid excuse. I have no time to do it though. I need to get more time dedicated to it.
You actually started?
Oh yeah, I'm up to chapter 3.
Oh, am I jealous? No.
But I feel like I can do it because I don't want it to be like this huge encyclopedia of my life. I'm only 30, my goodness. But I would like it to be 100 to 150 pages, and then people could enjoy it.
Well, you know what? This guy that I've purchased 2 or 3 books on how to write a book, and I haven't read any of the books yet. Anyway, he made a cool point. He said, start off your first one, and maybe it would just be, the chapter about passing gum at 70 miles an hour. I mean, that could be
okay.
That happened in Illinois. Yeah.
Well, so tell us about your time in Illinois. I didn't know you went interstate there. So you go from Iowa to Illinois?
Yeah, I was in a Sambo's restaurant early one morning, and there was a guy sitting next to me. It turns out that he was this was during a very manic period of my life after the first wife had kicked me out of the house, and I was living in a cabin down in the woods. Actually, I really enjoyed it. Focus, Mike, you can do it. So this guy sitting next to me at Sambo's restaurant. Can you imagine a restaurant called Sambo's? You wouldn't get away with that today.
Okay. I'm not sure why you have to.
Well, it's a story. Little black Sambo and a tiger and some butter.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, this guy sitting next to me, turns out that I'm a bit of an extrovert, and turns out he's a farmer. He's a pilot. He has an airplane there in town. I ditched my moped. That was my primary. The ex-wife got the car, so I ditched my moped and got on an airplane with him and flew to Rockford. Is it Rockford?
Rockford, Illinois. That's kind of where in that. Yeah, Rockford, Illinois.
There's a little quad area there, right?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't that? I want to say that's where Cook County jail is because of the Blues Brothers. I had known that one, but maybe not. Anyway, yeah, Rockford, Illinois.
so I end up getting on this plane with him, and it was to go see this person who had become somebody very important to me, because I think it's always important to be able to have somebody that you can pour your guts out to.
Absolutely.
You just have to be careful if it's a female and you're having marriage issues.
Because she would dive right into that or something like that.
Possibly.
Yep.
And she was a bit, let's see, would have been 8 years younger than I am. My current wife is 20 years younger. So what the heck's up with that?
Congrats on
I'm
that.
sorry.
That's awesome.
Well, I do get some high fives from some guys. I just kind of feel sorry for it because
Because you're what?
I'm old.
You know what? This is keeping you young, though, isn't it? This whole podcast dealio. By the way, I have some advice for you. Well, not advice, but I have an idea. Would you want to do Zoom with Brian instead of completely cancel with him?
With who?
With your guest. If he's not coming in, do you want to try and get him on the phone today? Or
Well, not today, but I think that's a great idea, and I need to check into Zoom because the audio quality, and there's no reason this same audio quality. Go ahead, give me a test 1, 2, 3.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, this is coming right over. Is this obviously this could be live podcasting, broadcasting on Spreaker. So the audio is amazing.
I know. I felt like I'm really right in the studio with you. It's like it's awesome.
And
as I'd say.
and yeah, and that's just and to be able to do this with Miles McKee on
oh my
Sundays.
goodness, on Sundays that would be incredible. Because you've got him by phone right now, right? You've got him patched to the board by phone?
Through Skype, and Skype audio just is not that good.
And remember, I started Skyping you the first couple of days we did this, and I'm like, let's try Zoom, and this has been...
And then here I'm using Zoom. Let's try Zoom. It's great. It is.
And I mean, I didn't realize how easy it is. You could just start, hello. You could just start a meeting anytime. You know what they did with the thumbs down? That meant I was thrown to the lions in Rome when he did the thumbs down. So.
Oh, that was a cow.
What?
That was for me. That was a cow. That was udders.
It was like a heart to me, but
forgive me. I have thinned. So anyway,
as Lugo and Abbott and Costello said, utter what?
Yabbit and Costello. That's mine. Yabbit. You don't understand. Yabbit.
I hope Abbott Lab wasn't offended that I used Hey Abbott to introduce their segment about donating all those tests to America. I hope they weren't offended by that. Oh,
that Abbott. You're very quick. You're very, very... So what's going on with your show today?
Well, SBA... I've got an update on the SBA loans with a friend of mine who is working in the small business in the whole financial world, and she's in Queens trying to help people. So next up after you will be Rabia Sohail. She will be talking to me about the loan process and the updates on it. Mike, I'm disheartened when I see all these bills of billions of dollars get passed through, and then you see small businesses isn't even getting it. It's just kind of strange to me.
I think it's part of a bigger plan. I hate to say that, but small businesses are the backbone as far as I'm concerned. I mean, our little hardware store, I'm so glad it's there. Farmers markets. There's just so many small businesses they're all essential.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're not. Yeah, they are. It helps people pay bills and stuff, and buy food and stuff.
No,
but they're not that important. Yeah, they are.
I was going to say, the other point I started saying is that when the government says essential, I think it made people feel less essential because their job, I don't know, there was like sort of a complex there. And I'm just like, if for Governor Cuomo, for anybody to say, oh, these essential employees, I'm like, let's remember we're all essential in this life, right? It's not just the employees. The reason why we have to stay in is because we're also essential just to I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, I felt like they really did a nice number dividing up who mattered in this time and who doesn't. And I'm like, everybody matters.
Bingo! Everybody matters. All lives matter.
Correct. Yep.
And when you're just, brought down to Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 2, so you really shouldn't be going to work. Now, here again, I have three brother-in-laws that all work for Tyson's, and now the president has come down with this mandate to keep those places open, and I can understand why that would be freaky.
Yeah, I think I am so twisted about that because then you've got Boston Globe warning Bostoners, oh, there's going to be a food shortage. And I'm just like, is that the media's role right now to just tell us when a food shortage is so we can all make a panic again at the markets? Like, I don't know. It gets me worried when real publications start talking about it.
The whole thing is either this thing is so overblown on purpose, which I think it is, or I don't know what it is.
Food lines is what Venezuela started to become, and we're not going to become that under a normal person's thinking in America. They're not going to let that happen.
Well, yesterday there was a food truck that came into town, and the place was swamped. You got Sony headphones.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, sorry I disrupted your thought process there. What were you saying?
No, you didn't. I've been checking out your headphones, and I got Sony MDR V6s from 1986.
That's cool.
They're oldies. Okay, so what do you want to say? So there's this food truck, and it was right across the street from this hardware store buddy of mine, and everybody had a mask on except three guys that were there from the National Guard. We have a big National Guard center here in Boone, Iowa. Mm-hmm. And I waved at him and yelled, "Thank you." And then, gave him an elbow bump. And they were like, I so much wanted to go over, but I wanted to stay away because I don't want people to look at me as somebody who doesn't care if people die because I don't wear a mask.
By the way, this was my outdoors yesterday. The Mr. Softy truck.
Oh, isn't that cool?
And actually, there were people going out there, like 3 people. They put down their masks to do the order, and then they got back in their car. So I don't know if they talked to the guy without a mask or not, but it was kind of weird.
Hey, who is that masked man? Sorry. Hi-oh, Silver. Oh, wait, sorry.
What would they call it? Like masked chocolate? Is that going to be a new thing?
I don't know, but it is strange. It's like,
of course, in New York, there would be still ice cream trucks in the middle of a pandemic. Like that would happen.
Well, doesn't this make you? I mean, it's very. I don't know. I'm just not going to let it freak me out. Now I'm glad that I let this guy know, and he's not going to show up. And I think
he was probably just saved his supervisor run.
Wow. Ouch. That hurt. Might have.
No, it's a good thing, meaning you stopped him from coming over so he can.
Oh, I thought you meant that his affiliation with me might not be expedient to his.
Believe it or not, despite what you get on Facebook, I think people deep down react because they know you're right.
About what?
About reopening, about the farmers market. People, when they don't have anything to say, just will fight back because they I don't know, they might not deep down disagree with you, but they have to put on a face that they do. I don't know.
I'm just looking forward to another day in the neighborhood, and I'll be doing a show about I don't know what. There always seems to something comes to mind. Maybe we'll still give away T-shirts with Annie Wallert Cook, the little Tasmanian angel friend of mine. She's a hoot. Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do really appreciate these get-togethers, and
now we're Zooming, and it's so good. So I'm happy that we can do this on a daily, now.
And I got things here I don't know about, like it says share screen. I don't know what that does.
Oh, I told you that yesterday. It literally shares your desktop.
So can I record this?
Yeah, so I would record the meeting. I don't know if you can, but it says a little record button there.
Oh.
Now you have a YouTube.
Wait, there is a little. Jeez.
Well, do you have a YouTube?
Yeah.
So what we could start doing is record these, and we'll put it on our individual YouTubes.
Well, I have a YouTube I don't use because mine's primarily audio, and they keep on flagging the music I use, so I don't even try.
Oh, and speaking of music, I was thinking of the song. So, Peter.
Frampton.
Peter. No, not Frampton. Salisbury Hill. You know the song Salisbury Hill.
I found my thrill on Salisbury. No, that's not it.
No, but hold on, I'm gonna get this right. Anyway, there's a line there that says, he had to keep his mouth shut because people would start, looking at him funny. And what we were talking about earlier is like, how much do I talk about God, or are they gonna look at me funny? And it just reminded me of that line in that song.
And with that,
Peter Gabriel, that's who it was.
Oh,
here we go.
Peter. Huh.
Keep in silence, I resign. My friends would peep. My friends would think I was a nut.
Peter and what's the name of it?
Salisbury Hill.
Wow. See, you got a lot of music. Never mind.
I know. I got a lot of.
I'm learning a lot.
Because I gotta start queuing this up without actually playing it. But I've just been musically inclined. My dad's started me on Sinatra, then my parent, mom and stepdad got me in the 60s, 70s, and now I've just got my own eclectic taste.
This is really cool. Eclectic taste. I caught that. I feel kind of rude that I'm reading this, but this gentleman just responded again. And what I want to do today, if I don't instead go out and really enjoy, I have RC airplanes that are saying, fly me, fly me.
RC meaning remote control, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a RC nut. Well, what happens is, and I'm not focusing well, but I get really excited about things. Like I've got all of this flight simulator stuff with the yoke and my goodness gracious, got all these screens and stuff. Well, I probably spent $500, $600, $700 at least in that stuff, and it's just getting all dusty in the basement. So I think
you got to break it out. If it's nice, you got to break it out.
Oh, the RC stuff I do,
yes,
but as far as breaking out it takes me an hour and a half to fly from Boone, Iowa to Ames, Iowa, which is only 13 or 15 miles, and then I crash at the airport every time. So I think I need to stick with RCs and not.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be smart. See, because the way I know you now is like your brain could be flying. Your brain could be flying. That's good. You could be flying, and then your brain's like, "Wait, let's go over there when the runway's over here." So I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of how it goes. But you just reminded me, they're doing drone delivery at CVS now if you need your medication. So,
really?
Yeah, they are doing that. This is what happens when I'm stuck on my phone all day because I can't go out. I just got these notifications that seem timely all of a sudden. CVS and UPS have teamed up to deliver CVS prescriptions by drone in Florida.
That is... It's almost surreal. It's kind of like the Jetsons.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I have
That's so true. We're in the Jetsons world now. And, by the way, you can be arrested in certain places for flying your drone even. Like if it's dangerous.
Oh. Look at that. I just happen to have the soundtrack from the Jetsons' main title. I got a lot of stuff on my computer. I just keep adding.
Hey, let's try that. Let me see if you could play it through your board into my thing. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't think it will come through, but I can try it. I will drop this in here, over here, like this, and you don't hear it, do you?
I don't hear it. I only hear it through your mic or whatever. It's not through the board.
Okay, but if I do this, how about this?
Wheezy, you're fixed.
Oh,
I got that. Yeah,
that's
through
looked
my
in the
Zoom.
toy box and found me an extra squeaker.
And how do you feel?
Oh, I feel swell. In fact, I think I feel a song coming on.
That's my life. That's how I put that one on my little board yesterday. Can I ask you something just real quick? And I know you got stuff going on, and both of us do. But you're responsible to have all of the audio clips, everything ready for producing.
Yes, I do.
Show.
So how I do it is I do 8 a.m. to 9 or whatever till the interviews are complete. And then I go into my regular day job type of thing. But the whole point is that this has been able to give me a routine that I can stick with after quarantine and still be sharp at my job. So I feel like they're hand in hand here.
A routine after quarantine. I'm going to try some rap.
Actually, if you do a rap and then you should send it to me and I'll play it on my show too.
Well, there's a gentleman I used to have here every Saturday morning. His name's Todd Stevens. And I would try to, he's a Christian guy that does rap music. And so I would try to do rap and he'd just say, Mike, so then I'd say, well, you know what? Fine, then don't you be stealing watermelon out of my garden and don't smile at night running down my alley. We're really tight.
I could tell.
It is so cool when you can have that kind of a relationship with somebody, the other folks that go, he's going to get punched. Someone's going to pull a gun on him. He just offended. There was one guy I had in there for 3 hours that he got really mad at me. Yeah,
by the way, in all this conversation, I forgot to tell you can listen to Radio Hope at 9 a.m. Eastern. He's going to be doing his, I guess a changed up show with what happened this week, but he'll be on the air nonetheless, right? No matter what, a show's got to be done.
Well, there's a part of me that's kind of sort of, sometimes I make appointments or whatever, schedule somebody, and I'm like, why did I do that? Because I'm not that much into city government or county government. So maybe I need to be a little more laser focused on what Radio Hope is and what it isn't.
Well, with that, and I don't mean to make people laugh, but you are having your friend who created the poopy bag on Saturday. That'll be fun.
Thank you for, yeah. In fact, I used a poopy bag yesterday.
Now, for you or for a dog?
For you or for the dog? Was it for the dog or was it for you? For the dog, and it worked well. It's great in winter because they're really thin, but they're thick enough that they won't, and you can warm your hands. You just don't want to squeeze it.
I've never seen your dog. I don't think I've seen your dog yet.
My Chewini?
Yeah, I've never seen the Chewini.
Well, maybe I'll have the Chewini on someday.
Oh, well, how old?
I think she's 7 now. It took 2 weeks before she would warm up to me. She was abused.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I had a Katrina rescue for about 12 years. She passed away in 2017, but I will tell you that dog probably had something happen to her in Louisiana before the Katrina hurricane hit. Because every time I'd rollerblade up to her, she'd bark and everything. So we think that something happened with her and a bike and all that. But then she like warmed up to me, and I mean, she's ended up laying on my lap most days. Oh, I miss her.
Yeah, aren't they? They are so.
We just had to get past the whole dropping hot soup on my lap by accident phase, and then we were good.
You had that happen?
Mm-hmm. She jumped up on the table and boom, all over my lap.
6 months old, and scalding hot coffee was dropped on my legs as a little infant.
Oh my God. Seriously?
And they did. Yeah. And then when I was little, really little, about the same age probably, some neighbor kid got in through the front door. My mom was in the back doing laundry or something. And I was in my crib, and evidently this kid got in the crib and jumped up and down on me and bit my ear. And so they took me to the hospital, and the doctor wanted to know what kind of animal it was.
Well, who was it? Your kid brother or something?
No, it was a neighbor kid that had some
oh my
mental issues. Yeah, and these were things I found out much later in life, and it was like, wow, why didn't somebody tell me? That's why I got that little chunk missing out of my ear. Do you know how long I've wondered why I've been so defective with that little chunk missing? Just
How
kidding.
long?
Well, that was in '79 when I found out about the.
Mm.
A lot of things happened in '79, the summer of '79.
Yeah. Wow, that was 40 years ago. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and by the way, that's what happens. That's why it's very intriguing to watch how people monitor kids who have those issues of biting and everything, because that does not go away. It goes on till they're 20, teens, and maybe a little more past that. But it does
Okay.
get very intense.
I'm going to get ready to.
Yes,
do my
you've
thing
got to go
here.
live in 10 minutes, so I will let you go. But Mike Myers, Radio Hope, 9 a.m. Thanks for doing it once again today.
And I am going to check out how to get this thing to work. This. What do you call this?
Share screen, video recorder, which one?
Zoom?
Or Zoom in general? Yeah, Zoom.
Yeah. Are you using the free version?
No, I actually paid for it for $15, but it's a very worthy investment. So,
Oh, wow. I'll have to check into that. Okay. Thanks, man.
love you, brother. Be well.
You too.
There goes Radio Hope, and there goes me. I'm going to be back in just a minute on Spreaker. We've got Rabia Sohail up next of Croft Investment. She's got some advice for the small business people out there that might be listening to this, and we'll listen to the podcast after. We'll be back.
To keep in silence, I resigned. My friends will think I was a nut, turning water into wine. Open doors will soon be shut. So I went from day to day.
All right, well, as we continue here, I've got my next guest, Rabia. Well, remind me your last name, Rabia.
Sohail.
Sohail. Nice to
Yep.
reconnect. And I know you're helping small businesses throughout this whole crisis, and I'm getting different perspectives. What's your perspective, and how are you helping during this time?
So, for example, we have a lot of businesses that are under that it's hard for them to make it for like the next month or so, and we're letting them know that the government has released funding for them specifically to help for that. So we're helping with the SBA loan consulting as well as funding for those loans, and then the allocation for them afterwards.
And how has the portioning of these funds, are they looking equal? What are you seeing with all the loans themselves, the funding and all that?
Well, to be honest, I think I see a lot of the bigger businesses that have sort of ate up all the loans. That's how we got rid of them so quickly. And the small businesses that either aren't able to make the SBA consulting fees or they don't have relationships with SBA bankers, those are the ones that have been left in the dark.
Well, so you're saying that there are some that haven't even needed the loan, and now it's kind of a new experience for them.
Yeah, so a lot of businesses, like I spoke to one person and he said, small business owner, he's never asked for anything. He's never asked for a loan before in his life. So for them, it's like a whole new experience to say, oh no, I actually need money to keep my business running.
And how has that emotional toll been on them to worry about all this? It's like a new realm, it sounds like.
Yeah, for them, it's like they don't know if their business would have to shut down. A lot of people have laid off their employees. So it's been definitely emotionally turbulent times for small business owners. And it's just, they're going day by day.
And you and my friend Ashi always are doing incredible jobs promoting what you guys are doing. How important is the social media on this, trying to help people get the information out?
It's incredibly important. I'm doing all that I can to reach out to small businesses that are already on social media. I'm calling them any way that I can reach out to let them know. Just the awareness of it has an impact. So whether or not that, they get the funding or not, because it's not guaranteed money. So, but just they need to be aware of the fact that there is money out there, billions, that's out there.
And what company are you with that's providing all this help during this time?
I'm with Craft Enterprises, and we're basically known as the entrepreneur's back office. So we do everything from the SBA and financial consulting to the taxes. We do the marketing. So anything that a small business needs help with, we help them with.
And for you, how are you feeling during all this? How's your state of health and mind and all this during the quarantine?
I think it's been hard for everyone. It's been tough. The best thing is to remain positive, to keep helping, everyone that we can, keep being knowledgeable about what's going on, keeping, an edge on the environmental aspects of it. So just always keeping a tune as to what new information is out there for us to help the small businesses. So it's sort of like a nice feedback loop that we have going on.
And in this time, it's like, there's so many conflicting reports. How can we get accurate information on the loans themselves? Obviously, people still tune to the media. Are they doing a good job talking about this, or is there some discrepancy? What are you seeing with the whole messaging and response and narrative to the SBA loans?
Well, the biggest thing that I would recommend is always get your information from a .gov website. So whether you're going directly to SBA.gov or you're getting it through the White House press, what's being passed through the Senate and through the bills, just get your information from a first source as close as possible.
And for those who might be scared, I think that a lot of people are scared right now. What's your calming message? I find people I bring on are very calming. So what is your calming message to them as they try and flood the loan portal?
That there has been additional funding, so don't be afraid to apply. That's the least thing to worry about. If you need help applying, reach out to someone to get that help to apply. But that's the last thing that you need to be scared about. There are actionable sequences that you can take to get to a better position for your business and yourself.
And I know for yourself, you're busy at this. Are you doing Zoom sessions? How are you getting meetings going during this whole thing?
Yeah, we're implementing Zoom, we're using phone calls, emails, any way that the client feels comfortable, even on social media, like reaching out. So that has been helpful as well, too. So everyone that's on social media, small businesses, they're like, hey, I see what you're doing. Can you help me out with this? Can you give me a little more information about this? And we have a Facebook page set up as well, too. So one of our CPAs, he goes live almost every single day, and he talks about the PPP loans and the EIDL loans. So the Facebook Live is also a great resource for small business owners wanting to get more information.
Absolutely. I've seen everybody. Even LinkedIn has a live thing, and these live videos seem to be so informative. So it's good to see that. Small business community. Let's talk about that for a minute. How interesting is it to see them all come together during this? It normally is tight-knit, but do you find it's even grown, even businesses even more closer now?
For sure. I think the fact that everyone is in the same boat, in that everyone's facing uncertainty. Everyone is trying to navigate, what's going on during this time, whether it's a public health issue or even, a small business issue. So everyone has definitely come together to help get to the next step for all of us.
And what have you seen? Like any examples of that coming together?
Yeah, so I've seen there's actually one page, it's called Queens Together, and they have small businesses that are helping getting the word out of their business through helping healthcare workers as well, too. So you've probably seen that a lot, too, having restaurants giving out to frontline workers, whether it's grocery workers, whether it's people in the hospitals. So just keeping their business as up and running as they can possibly have it, but also donating to those who need it even more than they do. So it's been nice to see that,
it's amazing,
extension of a hand.
And it's amazing you said that, because I was just going to ask you about the Shake Shack $10 million, give back to the SBA loan and whatnot. When you see big corporations do that, that's inspiring, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I think big corporations that are able to help at this time, they know what it's, how businesses are suffering right now. So for them to be generous enough to, extend their generosity, it's really heartwarming to see.
And as you mentioned, the healthcare workers, we cannot go without saying they've been amazing. They are our heroes. How can even if we're struggling financially, what are you seeing that the businesses are helping the hospitals? How are they helping out the hospitals?
Well, I've seen people that have bulk masks and gloves and any PPE equipment. They're definitely helping donate. The communities have been gathering together. There's a lot of forums and groups that I'm part of that they're helping getting the PPE equipment to the hospitals as well as food. So, the sleep, hopefully, the healthcare workers are taken care of. But in terms of food and protection, I've seen the communities come together and help as much as they can.
By the way, Rabia graduated from Queens College. Do you think that experience helped you in today's world? Do you think that education, because I think it's helped me just being there and being there 4 years. It's probably helped us all get through this moment, right?
Yeah, so I was part of a life group. It was called Leadership is for Everyone, and we used to have to go to these, club hour activities, and it's definitely helped, expand my horizon, be more open to what's out there in the real world aside from academia. So it's definitely helped give a transitional bridge to the real world as opposed to just a collegiate environment.
Rabia, small businesses have often kind of been overlooked, and they only get honored on Small Business Saturday. So I guess my question would be, can we see more recognition of small businesses after this, more than we did before the pandemic?
I think so, for sure. I think knowing how the public has seen small businesses suffer, they're probably going to support them even more after this pandemic, if they're not already doing so now.
And
so just
for people who can support them right now, what is your aside from federal government, how can we help as a regular citizen if we have the capacity to?
Just still get your food from them. I mean, a lot of people are slowly starting to open up. I think for New York, it's May 15th. So just frequent the same businesses that you used to frequent before, this pandemic, and continue to support them and continue to get, whether it's food or whether you're going out, just continue supporting small businesses specifically, because as they say, small businesses, they help feed their family. It's not a big corporation.
Well, Rabia, this has been informative, and I don't know. I just think that they need to get more recognition, and I know you see that every day as well. And yeah, this is the other thing. The narrative has always been the economy's closed down forever, and it's no, they're still opening the businesses, right? So that message has to get out as well. That business isn't exactly closed right now.
No, I mean, definitely the restaurants that are still open for delivery and takeout, there are some that haven't closed at all. They've still been working behind the scenes, even though, they're not open for seating. But they've been open. They've still been working. They're still, producing what they need to do when, they need our help now. They need us as customers.
Absolutely. And so your clientele varies, obviously, but what sector are you seeing that needs the most help right now? I mean, you've got all these different industries. What industry is hurting the most in your viewpoint?
I would definitely say restaurants and hospitality, hotels, restaurants. Those have been the hardest hit. They've had to lay off their workers. A lot of them haven't been able to, support their their staff. So they've been the hardest hit.
And of course, as you say, it's good to give back and order from them as well. And so that's where the sectors that might be doing good can actually pitch into these restaurants, right? If there's a healthier sector, they should be supporting the other sectors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is good. Now, where can people reach you for a consult, for help, for wherever? What's your platform? Where can we reach you at?
So you can reach me either at my cell phone, that's 443-945-0702. You can reach me on my Instagram handle. It's at RABIASO.HAIL. Or you can go to croftenterprises.com as well, too. So any way that you can reach me, email, Instagram, whichever works for you, call. So I make myself, easily accessible through those channels.
And we live in Queens, and we know that this borough can come together, and now is the most important time. So for our borough, what's your message today for the borough?
Just continue to stick together. I've seen a lot of great things happening in Queens. Restaurants coming together, healthcare workers coming together, and it's just like another pandemic, just like how everyone did come together during 9/11. This is going to be like another, era of that. And once we do come out of it, we're just going to be stronger.
And do you see like anything bigger changes, like the way we communicate in the business world after this is all over, or are we going to go back to meetings and whatnot?
Yeah, so there's an important thing that we learned is that while we are going to have to probably social distance after this, even after we open up, our social presence shouldn't end. So we should be present all the time, whether we're talking to someone on a Zoom meeting, on a phone call, in person, and you're 6 feet away, that social presence should not be absent, even though the physical distance has to be there.
And it's so interesting you mention that, because now a new question has popped up. When we are trying to talk to our friends that are small business owners, how do we encourage them but still not try and, like, I don't know how to say it, but make them feel down that they're out of business? Like, how can we talk to small business owners right now in a way that's uplifting?
I think the most empowering thing that you can do is let them know that there are options out there. Even though the SBA lending may have run out, it may run out again, there are other options for them to get help and lending for their business. So they do not have to shut down. There are options out there and to get help.
Well, I do hope more help's on the way, and I hope that the bills that we pass in Congress don't have to keep going, because that's a lot of money we're doling out, but it's needed right now. But this is where individualism and coming together is really going to help boost the economy in more ways than one.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Well, Rabia, thank you so much for joining today, and we'll get you back on as things progress, because you've got an insight I love hearing. So thanks for joining us today.
Sure, sounds good. Thanks so much, Alex.
You got it. I'm Alexander Garrett, and this has been this edition of Keeping It Real with Alex Garrett. Hey, that was